Assalamu alaikum, this is Muhammad Azullah Khan speaking and welcome to my channel Voice of Series. In today's video, I will cover the topic of source of law. What is source of law? In simple terms, we can say that it is the origin of law or the binding principles or rules which governs the human conduct of the society. To be precise, source of law refers to the origins or authorities from which legal rules are derived and recognized, which provides the basis of legal systems and help establish the rights and obligations of individuals within the society. To get further understanding, I will glance over some common sources of law which are currently being used. Firstly, we will start with the statutory law. This statutory law includes which the laws which are passed by the legislature, which is parliament in our case, and are also considered as act of parliament. These statutory laws are created through a legislative process and becomes a binding on the individuals and the organizations. Second example which we can consider over here is the case law. Case laws are sometimes also referred as common laws, which are developed through judicial judgments, which are made by the judges in the court's proceeding during deciding the facts of a case. Judges interpret and apply existing laws to specific situation, and their rulings become precedents for future cases. Precedents set by the higher courts are binding on the lower courts within the same jurisdiction. Moving on, we will go to the third example of source of law, which is constitutional laws. In countries like Pakistan, where a written constitution exists, constitutional law refers to the bodies of law and principles derived from the Constitution. Constitutional law sets out the structure of the government, fundamental rights, and limitations on government's prior. Furthermore, we will glance over the international law. International law is a body of rules and principles governing relations between countries and international organizations. It includes treaties, conventions, customary laws, and decisions of international courts and tribunals. For international treaty, we can go through the example of Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan. Last but not least, I will give a brief overview of religious law. Countries like Pakistan do consider Islamic laws before forming any statutory laws, and which becomes a binding over the parliament. That parliament cannot go beyond the religious laws in some cases. Lastly, we will discuss the European Union. European Union is the last source of law which we will discuss in our example. In countries that are member of the European Union laws is an important source. It doesn't it, it does have a supremacy over international laws within the scope of European Union competency. Britain once used to consider this as a source of law, but since exiting the European Union, the result of Brexit, their parliament's authority and supremacy have increased by miles. It is important to note that the source of law can vary across different legal systems and countries. The specific source and their significance may depend on the factors such as the type of legal system, for example, common law system or a civil law system, the constitutional framework, and the hierarchy of the courts within a jurisdiction. Well, that is it for today's video. I hope you would have liked it. Subscribing my channel and liking this video will act as a motivator for me. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep smiling. Allah Hafiz.